Welcome to the FTC Podcast episode. FTC is Future Trainer Collective, started by Mr. Teja, along with Dr. Hashi, Dr. Deepak, and Dr. Priyanka. This is Arago here, and I'm excited to have Varsha with us. Varsha Nishanth started her career as a software developer at Infosys, and somewhere inside those corporate corridors, she found her true calling. She has spent the last 17 plus years working at the intersection of HR, L&D, helping leaders, professionals, individuals across industries, making meaningful and noticeable shifts in mindset, capability, and behavior through her DICE framework. She is a certified emotional intelligence practitioner, Dale Carnegie leadership facilitator, and Heal Your Life workshop leader. She is also a keynote speaker. Welcome, Varsha Nishant. Glad to have you here as our guest.
Thank you so much, Alagu, for this beautiful introduction. And I'm so looking forward to this conversation with you today.
Same here. So, Varsha, you started your career as a software developer at Infosys, right? So, what made you any special moment or something that you felt or saw that corporate environment made you think that I need to do something else?
Okay. Uh, Interesting question. Yeah. And it's very natural for someone to know about this,
Yeah.
right? And so, what really happened, Alagu, is here when I started, this is my first job right after my college.
Okay.
I was super excited being in the corporate world. And
Directly into Infosys.
yeah, directly into Infosys, a large campus, thoroughly enjoyed the entire journey, what was happening. Also the work, because I was also assigned with a project which is for a large bank, a global bank. Now, what I really found as I was enjoying the work was also that I was increasingly getting fascinated by what helps people become more than they currently believe they are.
Mm.
Uh, because in my observation, with working with peers, team members across levels, yeah, I would see that people with similar qualifications, capabilities, but their journeys are very different.
Yes. Mm.
And that's where my curiosity kind of hooked me to understand what creates that difference, what helps people unlock their potential. And perhaps that question is what kind of also made me to think and deep dive more onto this. And while I was working, and then over a period of time, I realized that, okay, technology builds systems, learning and development helps build people.
Awesome. Yeah.
And that realization pulled me to get into this space and see how can I help people to grow in their lives.
Excellent. And I see you started with a very interesting framework called DICE, with which you create that mind shift, which helps in increasing their capabilities and all that. So I would like to know more about this interesting framework, Varsha.
Sure. So, this is something that came from my observation and experience of how real learning transformation can actually be more sustainable and something very clear, intangible as well. So, which means there's always need to be a process. And that's where I identified the DICE framework, where D is all about the discovery phase, where we identify what is the natural strengths for any person, because each one of us are unique, but what are also there some of their patterns which are helping them, and what is not supporting them.
Yeah.
Are there any challenges? So this phase is all about increasing their self awareness. Now, the second stage is all about once you become aware, how do you take those insights and connect them towards what you really desire to make a shift to your personal growth and the workplace impact? And that's where I is all about integration.
Okay.
And the third one is all right, now I know what exactly I'm supposed to do, but there has to be something, if I want to bring a change, something consistent, right? Or I need to develop something. So, which means there is something more consciously I need to do. Yeah.
Yes.
The T
Yes.
is all about consciously building, developing those skills, and shifting the behaviors that would drive the real change. And the last is all about excellence, where that's what E stands for, where you perform, you become better version of yourself, you drive results, and then grow. Uh, Over the years, I also identified that this is not just for an individual, but also at an organizational level. This framework
Okay.
fits in where I can help to curate even learning journeys and structured development process.
Uh, So it's a standard framework which can be applied even to organization. That's a wonderful input, and it's a very nice framework. I feel, where somebody excels, starting from discovering who they are, what they are, and what helps and what doesn't help. Excellent, Varsha. So
Thank you.
when I see this, I see your learning comes from somewhere. Like, where does your learning actually come from? What genuinely sharpens you as a facilitator?
Okay. Now, as facilitators, I think learning is something that we all look forward to and it's
Yes.
never ending.
Never ending. Yeah.
But for me, the biggest learnings have always been through different learning environments and lived experiences, like being part of communities, having conversations with people, observing people, doing more of reflection and shadowing. Also, something like working along with different facilitators because everybody brings a different style, different approach, and that's how I've been learning apart from certifications and courses and all of that.
I understand. More of experiential learning, you get to know from seeing people, observing, and doing it yourself. Awesome.
True.
So I understand. So that is why you're there as part of FTC also.
That really hooked me, that because this was again a community driven, and the
Yeah.
moment I knew that it's going to be a cohort and all of that, I said I want to be there and learn and contribute as well.
Yes. So what made you say yes to this apart from the learning part?
So it was not just the learning, as you rightly said.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
yeah. So when we had the first round of conversation, the intro call by Mr. Teja, uh, I could really see the intention with which this whole
Very true. Yeah.
entire package was, being curated and offered for all of us. So which means it's a carefully curated cohort,
Yes. Yes.
people committed uh, to the craft. It is because it's a journey for 3 months and every Saturday, Sunday, right? Not just
Yeah.
easy for anybody, all the four key
Definitely.
facilitators, right?
Yes. Totally agree on that. Yeah.
Investing their time and energy for us. Not just that, it is not just a download, but it is all about learning and then practicing it. Also, the most important critical thing is getting certified, right? 5 different certifications, not just to claim that we are certified, but to really put that in practice. And just now we have finished, facilitator
That
certification.
says it all, the 7-minute facilitation.
Absolutely, right? I mean,
Yeah.
uh, and that we have done through accountability partners,
Yes, yes.
where you, me, Chitra, and also other people in the cohort
Definitely,
have
yeah.
supported us. So, most important for me to choose FTC, yet another reason, or I was longing to be there, was this has been driven by people like experts, all the four, who have actively walked the path that they are going to, transfer us. And that really mattered to me, with their intention that they want to create an edge for us, move us to become better in our own versions. So that's about, why I chose to be a part of FTC.
Excellent. So, partially you answered this question, but we've traveled so far, almost 2 months. What is the biggest shift you feel so far in this journey?
While I've been in the journey of facilitation, I understand it is not the content per se that really drives, right? It is more about the experience design, the interaction design, creating those conditions, the environment where learning can actually happen. So, if I were to mention one of those examples, or something that I learned, just to ensure that how this is shifted. So I
Yeah.
now we explored the concept of the project teams and the training teams,
Mm.
right? This is very simple design that you bring in your facilitation entire 8 hours or a 2-day intervention. But it all it certainly changes how people interact, how people take their own accountability and commitment, like they learn from one another, and there is a post accountability partner that you create with them, so they reconnect their learning back to their real challenges. And therefore, also some of those key things that I've learned is global sensing, the different roles that we play here as a facilitator in the room, which directly influences the engagement, reflection, and the application. So, to tell it in maybe in a short 2 lines, I would kind of summarize saying that it has reminded me that again, facilitation is not just simple content delivery.
Yes, very true.
It is the intentional design of human experience which is leading to meaningful and noticeable shifts.
And I see this aligns with whatever you're doing already, right? You want to see the shift in people, and this is like a very structured format, is what even I feel like. How you said. Anything else you would like to share about the cohort as such, the peers?
Um, so for me, see, when I joined this cohort, of course, there was a lot of filtration around this, and then we
Yes,
finalized with the number 31. So now that number was not very sure because it was said 10 is minimum.
10, 15.
Uh, yeah, 10 is minimum, can
Yeah,
extend to 15, but what is the upper limit was not disclosed at all.
true,
So
true.
there was a fear of, would I be there or will I not be
Very
there?
true.
So there was always that anxiety until the results were, you know, announced
Yeah,
that
yeah.
who are the key cohort members. Uh, Post which I identified, okay, everybody of 31 is somebody who is very new, though I've been in the industry, I don't know anybody there. Yeah. And that's when the biggest surprise that I could see and experience is the generosity. Yeah. Uh, Everyone brings different experiences, strengths, industry background,
Yeah.
perspectives, right? Uh, and the willingness to support each other. And that was a genuine encouragement that I could see at different points of time during the last 1.5 months of the journey, that about close to 2 months now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honest feedback people were giving, thoughtful
Mm.
conversations, especially the breakout rooms, they often
Yes,
become, yeah, such learning experiences by themselves.
yes, yes. Very true.
So I always walk out with a new perspective post every session, every activity that we have done. So it has this sense of community, which I truly feel has been one of the most meaningful parts of the journey for me so far.
Awesome. Same here. I couldn't agree more with you. The bonding and the support we get from the entire cohort is amazing.
True.
So, with all this learning, Varsha, so if I ask you, how would you look at yourself after 12 months? What would be your goal? What would be the contribution from the learning, and what would be your becoming after 12 months?
The moment the word goal comes, it takes a
I
pressure on
wanted to
me.
refrain myself from saying goal.
Uh, but that's what it is, right? Because otherwise we'll
Yes,
not have a direction.
exactly. Goal is a goal, whether we call it a goal or not.
No, otherwise you're not excited to do anything about
Yes,
it.
yes.
So what I'm really excited about is the integration.
Mm.
Yeah? Over the next another 1.5, 2 months of journey, which means primarily 3 to approximately 3.5 months of journey, there is a lot that we would have learned. So I want to really integrate what I've already learned, which I've started
Mm.
in whatever capacity is
Possible, yeah.
possible. But it has given me a lot of several insights that I want to now bring to my clients, both individuals and organizations. Uh, and beyond that, I also would like to do a bit of more work, create spaces directly for individuals through my inner work and transformation journeys. uh, but apart from all this work, uh, I am, more excited about continuing to evolve
Awesome. End
because,
of the day, it's that. Yeah.
yeah, because every stage of growth reveals another level of possibility.
Definitely
Yeah.
is.
And that journey is what still excites me and I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. So let's be let's move forward with the same excitement. We
Sure.
are getting into the rapid fire round now. That's the
Oh,
surprise element. So let's see how fast we can do this.
sure.
Uh, so in one word or in one sentence, if you could answer this, okay? Worst piece of advice you ever followed?
Don't express your emotions.
Uh, very, very deep.
Yeah.
Maybe that made you become the emotional intelligence practitioner too.
It certainly did. And that's where I moved into the inner work as well, because that has impacted a lot on my health, on different aspects of life.
Yes. Awesome. Uh, okay, one word for your life right now.
Trust,
Okay,
trusting the timing, process, and who I'm becoming.
interesting. What do you reach for before a big session? I think you're not a chai coffee person, right? If I'm not wrong.
Absolutely not.
So, what is that you reach out for?
A moment of stillness
Okay,
could be through grounding, breath work, uh, just focusing on, my just giving awareness to my body, and sometimes just looking up to the sky as well.
nice. So, I see you have clocked 22,000 plus training hours, Varsha. What still surprises you in a
Huh.
row?
Huh. How is that? Sometimes that moment of awareness that you create for people, right, can change their direction of their growth.
Very true. Yes. That one question or one answer shifts the entire thought
Right.
process. They get their answer from somewhere.
Absolutely.
Super. Awesome. So, one final question. So, techie to facilitator, one thing you left behind, one thing you carried with you.
Uh, a huge one that I left behind, which really has helped me, that, the belief that every problem only has to be looked at a logical way.
Uh, as a technical person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a technical person. So, in simple, again, the belief that every problem has a logical solution, not necessarily. Uh, but one thing
Totally
that
agree.
yeah, one thing that I'm carrying it forward is, of course, the curiosity, uh, and the structured thinking.
Yeah. That's a very major strength that you can carry as a technical person, right? It has a process and structure.
Right.
Excellent. So we've come to the end with the rapid fire round. Thank you so much. You answered them awesome. What is that you would like to say if someone is listening and thinking, this is exactly the work I want to do, like Varsha? So, what is the very first step you would tell them to take? What would be your advice?
Uh, Build that curiosity,
Mm,
about people, because if you don't have that for others, then you cannot be in service for them.
definitely. And that in fact nudged you to this platform, right? Excellent.
Absolutely. So that's how you start seeing how people think the way they think, how they behave the way they behave, how are they growing, right? Because you are there to help them discover all this by themselves.
True.
Uh,
So, where can people find Varsha? I know where to find you, but where can people who are watching this find Varsha?
Sure. So they can reach out to me and find me more about me on LinkedIn. But here is a catch for people who would look up to LinkedIn and reach out to me. It is Varsa and
Oh, okay.
Nishanth, Nishanth. Uh,
There's a twist in your spelling.
right. And also sometimes Nishanth, they look only at T, not H.
H.
Yeah. So
I think Varsa is unique, so that itself will bring you to
hopefully,
the.
but I don't know. But that's
Yes.
how you can find out. Another platform, or they can also reach out to me or see me more on, about me is on Google page.
Okay. Excellent. So let's see. I'm sure people would reach out to you after this. Thank you so much, Varsha, for your time. I enjoyed our conversation. Hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you so much.
I really liked this conversation, Alagu. The fun part was also, about the rapid fire. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed those questions. Thank you so much for inviting me and having this conversation with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. So today it was Varsha. So in the next episode, we'll have another interesting guest. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.